Hello, my lovelies. I'm Ginny O, the author with no last name, and this is Ginny O Talks, the part of the channel where I talk about things in the bookish community. Today, I'm talking about Wattpad. If you follow me anywhere on social media, you may or may not know that back in November of last year, I basically got hit upside the head by Zahn's algorithm game and decided to do a social experiment. As soon as I got my books out of Kindle Unlimited, I started posting my first book, The Lone Prospect, a cozy werewolf biker drama, to 3 different sites to determine which sites were worth my time. I'm using my own blog on WordPress, Royal Road, a small science fiction and fantasy fiction website, and Wattpad. I've done a previous video about the state of indie publishing in 2021. I'll put that in a link below and at the end. At the time, my social experiment with Wattpad was ongoing, and I hadn't really dug further into it to decide more than I'll get up to Rodeo's Run and then see about paid. Life doesn't work out that way. A popular writing advice Tumblr I follow posted up they were removing their fanfiction from Wattpad due to the 15-second ads between chapters and the lack of engagement they were getting on their stories. I decided to dig a little deeper. Wattpad was started in 2006, claims 8 million works on their site, and 90 million or more viewers who spend at least an hour on the site at a time. They separate their stories into 23 different categories, 3 of which are things such as paid stories, editor's picks, and the bodies, which mean next to nothing. Then authors are supposed to narrow down their categories by adding in tags. Let's be clear. Wattpad built itself on the backs of fanfiction writers. It's also had a very bad history of having people do the find and replace method of ebook piracy, taking fandom names and replacing original character names and posting them as fan fiction, usually of romance novels. This is only 1% or less of the fanfiction landscape, but managed to severely damage the fanfiction reputation on Wattpad. There is a category for fanfiction on Wattpad, and that's it. Anyone who knows anything about the fanfiction landscape knows having one category for fanfiction is just a recipe for disaster, because people who want fanfiction want a way to narrow down the canon even more. Instead, fanfiction is scattered all over the categories on Wattpad. Fanfiction, which is often, though not always, going to get a lot more engagement than original works. Then Wattpad also allows for original works, and over time the focus has gone from anyone posting to Wattpad wanting to be seen as an alternative to traditional publishing by adding in paid stories and having awards, and while working with established traditional publishers to distribute books originally posted on Wattpad, and having a South Korean media company buy out a large share of Wattpad stock in order for Wattpad to be able to turn select original works into movies and television shows. They want to make money off of original fiction on their site, quoting AI algorithms and I don't know what all to claim they can find gems among the 8 million or more stories posted on their website. When you have fanfiction and original fiction on your site, and you claim you want to make money, there is a clear conflict of interest. They're trying to make money in at least 4 different ways here. First, they have ads. The ads started out, I guess, as any other site. There was like a banner ad or a side scroll ad on the pages. Now they've gone to abusive ads and put non-skippable 15-second ads between chapters. If you want to get rid of ads, they have their second source of income. They have Wattpad Premium and Premium Plus. For the price of $5 to $8, you can get rid of ads, have unlimited offline stories, exclusive themed colors, and will enhance the third source of revenue. Wattpad coins. Wattpad coins are a premium currency that are used to pay for paid stories. You buy Wattpad coins in bundles that get cheaper the more you buy. Then you can unlock stories by the chapter or by the complete book, and obviously if you buy a complete book, it's going to be cheaper than buying it a chapter at a time. The fourth method is them publishing books, getting them into bookstores, and licensing out for movies and television shows. Movies and television shows are the big money here, so I'm sure we'll be hearing more about those later. It's probably a bit too soon for them to have anything until at least next year, since the sale went through late 2020 and early 2021. There's a funnel here. They get you hooked on free fiction. Then they put in these really abusive ads to push you towards getting paid to get rid of them. And it's a monthly thing, not a pay once thing too. So a subscription service. And then in the subscription service, they say, oh, but we've got these paid stories that are better than the free stories because our AI and our editors say so. And since you've got a subscription, you can buy our premium currency and make it go further. Now, fanfiction.net has been using ads for years. They too started with banner ads and eventually moved to ads between chapters. The notion is that ads pay for the servers, and so they aren't making money off of fanfiction. They're making money to keep servers up. AO3 doesn't have ads, and as a nonprofit relies on donations from readers like you to keep their servers going. So once you move beyond ads and start moving into a premium account system, you're looking to make money, and hosting fanfiction becomes a really risky business. I don't know why they haven't been looked into yet. It might just be because no one really wants to take this on, and the servers are Canadian, and Canadian publishers aren't as big as US publisher, or Disney doesn't care. The only reason I don't think they're removed fanfiction yet is because of backlash. They don't want to face the anger of fandom by saying it needs to be removed until they have a secure alternate source of income coming in from the movies and television shows and more books on the shelves. It's going to come sooner or later. That is, if the other things don't drive the fanfiction people away to AO3, a much better fanfiction experience sooner. Now, not being part of Wattpad paid, I have no idea how these authors are being paid. Because coins are a premium currency. What a premium currency does is it puts a layer of buffer between real world money and what you're paying for on a site. The brain has a very hard time converting numbers between one currency and another. Premium currencies, unlike real currencies, also get cheaper the more you buy, thus giving them no actual fixed conversion rate. Your brain sees a deal and you want to buy the higher package because it's on sale. And you have this fear of missing out, or you're impatient so you buy whole books or buy each chapter as it comes out. And in the end, you have actually no idea how much money you've spent on Wattpad unless you're looking at your credit card statement. Without a fixed conversion rate, there's no real way to tell from the outside how much money is actually going to the authors when you're purchasing a chapter or a book. It's not like Amazon where the author sets the price and then they get royalties off that price. Money is money. It's converted to every different currency where the ebook is sold, and I get the same amount of US dollars to my bank account no matter what. We've got a premium currency here that's not only predatory towards customer, it's predatory towards the author as well. Without any type of clarity, which there is none on the site and you have to apply to get into Wattpad paid after 2 complete stories, it's not something I personally want to touch with a barge pole. I don't like premium currencies to begin with. This website has managed to gamify their monetization model with a premium service to get rid of ads that's subscription-based and premium currency microtransactions. This is the type of stuff that gets free-to-play games $1 billion a year from whales and, well, children and the elderly. I want no part of it. I mean, unskippable ads, a subscription service, a premium currency. I mean, that's pretty bad. But what about the important parts? The display function, the search engine, the AI boosting algorithms. How is the engagement? Deplorable. Okay, You go to a site and click on a category, and you expect that category to have a specific type of work. Take science fiction, for example. You expect science fiction works, but maybe you're actually in the mood for adventure or thriller, so you go and you click on thriller, and lo and behold, there's the same book near the type that was in science fiction. These categories are meaningless because books aren't really sorted into categories. They're sorted by tags. So someone might put their book into the category of science fiction or action, and because of the tags, they'll show up in both of those categories, plus thriller if they have a thriller tag. And if you want to narrow down your search, you have to start clicking on tags on the top of the screen. If you want post-apocalyptic works, you have to click that tag. It's clunky. People, honestly, don't want to do this. And there are only two ways to sort the category outside of tags, and that is hot and new. So you can only see 1,500 hot stories or 1,500 new stories, and no idea how many of those 8 million stories are actually pure science fiction. Now, for example, when I looked when writing this script, number 2 and 3 of science fiction category were out of copyright books by H.G. Wells. I don't go to Wattpad for H.G. Wells. I mean, Project Gutenberg exists, or I can get those classics pretty cheap at a bookstore. Why are they taking up space on Wattpad? As much as you can claim, oh, there are 8 million stories on Wattpad, without a clear categorization system, without crossover and copyright-free books taking up slots, and only showing 1,500 of them, having 8 million stories is pretty much a useless number, especially since the search function is reportedly awful. It doesn't matter if you have a fancy AI system pushing your book up the ranks even without engagement. I mean, I've had my books in the top 100 of certain tags and gotten nothing. And then you've got tags like post-apocalyptic where they claim they have 10,000 stories, but there's no category for post-apocalyptic works for me to browse at least 3,000 of those 10,000 stories. There's this popular theory that a website is only going to make money off the top 1,000 or so most viewed items. So they aren't going to bother showing you more than the top 1,000 items. So in order to break the top 100, you need thousands of views. And it seems the more chapters you have, the more views you need. And the more people who post, the faster your story is pushed down in the news section, if anyone bothers to look at the news section, and the less and less chance you get to be discovered or seen. Welcome to Amazon 2.0. Oh, and Amazon has just put their own chapter-by-chapter story service into beta called Amazon Vella. Something else I'm not willing to touch, not even for a video. And if you're going to use their search function, you better know exactly what you're looking for, and even then it might not bring it up. Again, Amazon 2.0. Now, as for the information displayed on the screen, you get the book cover, which is fine, I guess. That really depends on the author. There's the section for what should be the short pitch or the elevator pitch. You get so many characters to sell the character, and the author again decides this, and most of them are, my book is type of summaries, which shook me not at all, or telling me how far they got up the rankings. Don't tell me what your book is. For goodness sake, character conflict stakes. Your categories and tags should tell me the rest. Yikes! But the problem there is they're only showing you if it's complete, mature, and then 3 tags. If you want more tags, you have to click on it. The more a customer has to click, the less and less likely they are going to carry through and buy, or in this case, read anything. I mean, if you can't write a summary for your book, then I seriously doubt your ability to write the book. I will ignore your book cover. The summary and blurb of your book is one part of marketing I can't ignore no matter how much I want to. This is why fanfiction.net and AO3 are successful at what they do, whereas people will outright tell me they hate Wattpad's interface, because Wattpad's interface really doesn't tell you anything at a glance or helps you find anything in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, they see it's ugly and I infer the rest. It's set up for mobile and that is a problem. And with AO3 and fanfiction.net, I can literally, as long as I know the dates they started, can go back and find stories from the opening of those sites. I can use their display function, tags, and search functions, discover every single story on those 2 sites. No way in hell can I do that on Wattpad or Amazon. And they have better rating systems, and AO3 has a tag system where if I want a specific thing, I can search that tag and get that specific thing. I can exclude things on AO3 like non-con and so on. On Wattpad, it's a gamble. And this doesn't help authors. It doesn't help readers. The more you use fake algorithms to push up the top 1,000 stories or whatever on your site, the less and less functional and useful it is for consumers on both sides of the aisle. And with Wattpad, since I, the author, can view my story and have it count as a hit, all I'd have to do is program some bots and suddenly I'd have thousands of hits and thousands of stars. Assuming it's as easily hackable as Amazon seems to be. Now, being someone who wants actual engagement, I wouldn't do this, but it's a shitty thing. I don't know if Wattpad used to be better. What I do know is given their monetization plan and their display and search function, they might as well be Amazon at this point. There's no reason for me to use them at all. I'm getting, 10 hits to my blog and an average of 40 reads per chapter on Royal Road, despite lack of comments and stars. People are actually seeing it and reading the book, even if they aren't telling me if they like my slice of life werewolf adventure or not. So, instead of using Wattpad, I'll probably start reading books on Royal Road and rating and reviewing them as soon as I get some emotional spoons to do so. So, I'll probably keep The Lone Prospect up on Wattpad until the end of the year, and then take it down and delete my account. Because I'm not going to pay for ads on a book I'm putting up for free. No, that's counterintuitive. Now, you can make your own decisions about Wattpad and how to get engagement or what have you, and if you're okay with how they're monetizing and so on and so forth. My experiment and experience says it's not worth the time. It is really difficult right now being an indie author. I'm not even really encouraged to write more books than what I've got up because of lack of engagement. It's not even the money at this point. It's I want readers. And if you're not going to set up your site for readers to be able to find books properly, then I'm at a loss as to why I should use said site. Give me your opinions in the comments if you like. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. Take care of yourselves, bless, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.